All right, so with example 3, we can actually factor out from 30, 14, and 4, we can factor out a 2, which makes things a little bit simpler from the beginning. So 15x squared minus 7x minus 2. Now we're going to multiply 15 and 2, that should be a negative 30. So we're looking for factors of negative 30 that will add up to a negative 7. So we have 1 and 30, 2 and 15, 3 and 10, and actually 3 and 10 should be the answer here, because negative 10 times 3 is negative 30, and negative 10 plus 3 adds up to a negative 7x. So if we rewrite this, we would have 15x squared. I'm going to put the 10x, and then we're going to have 3x minus 2. So we're going to go ahead and group those together. From the first part, we can factor out 5x. We should have 3x minus 2. As you can see, we already have 3x minus 2, so there's nothing else that we can do there. We just know that there's a 1 in front of 3x minus 2. So rewriting all of this, the answer should be 5x plus 1 and 3x minus 2, and that 2 on the outside that will never leave. Okay. Now let's look at example 4. And now this one can be a little bit tricky, but if you notice, we have 40m squared and negative 35m squared. So those are like terms. We can actually combine those. We would have 5n cubed, and then we would have 40 minus 35, which would be 5m squared. So now we can actually factor out a 5m squared from that, and we'd be left with 5m plus 1. And finally, let's look at the last example here. Now there's nothing to factor out there, so we're just going to go ahead and multiply 16 times 9. Now 16 times 9 ends up being 144. Now what's interesting about this is that this is a perfect square. If we take the square root of 144, that should be 12. That's a pretty good indication that we're going to end up with a perfect square here. So 144, and we use the factors 12 times 12, those will add up to 24. So we're going to have 16x squared plus 12x plus 12x plus 9. Now if we group those, we can factor out 4x from the first part. We'd be left with 4x plus 3. And from the second part, we can factor out a 3, and we'd be left with 4x plus 3. So if we rewrite this, we would have 4x plus 3 and 4x plus 3. Now, since they're the same, we can rewrite this as 4x plus 3 squared.